So, with differing political backgrounds, this next pair don't often see eye to eye, but now former First Minister Alex Salmond and Tory MP David Davis MP have signed up for a new battle.
The friendly foes are leading teams of parliamentarians in a nightly debate show at the Edinburgh Fringe, where the audience decides their victor. Alex and David join us now live in Edinburgh this morning. So you've been doing this show for a few nights. Who's winning so far?
Oh, he is. I didn't come expecting to win. The first night was hilarious. I think it was 400 to 1. Anyway.
David, what did you get so wrong?
How did you vote?
What did you get so wrong, David?
Well, I think on the first, I know we knew what we were going in for. I say the first night, I don't think it was so noisy. I didn't even get through my speech. I had to throw it away. But generally, it's been great fun. But of course, I'm in Edinburgh. I'm so far behind enemy lines, I arrive by parachute.
But I should say, obviously it's like an international, and I'm playing every match at home. Yeah. But so independence and opposition to Brexit, which I've been arguing, have been overwhelming. But there's been actually quite tight votes on abolition of the House of Lords and abolition of the monarchy. They've been pretty tight votes, but they've all been fun, and the crowd are boisterous, they're noisy, but it's good-natured. And I mean, this was the brainchild of Tasmeen Ahmed Sheikh, and I have to say, I couldn't see how the format would work, but it is working, and thousands of people are coming along. It's totally amazing.
And when you say the vote was close on the abolition of the monarchy, I'm assuming it was pro-abolition, was it?
Marginally. I mean, I had to go to a show of hands. Yeah. I mean, it was, the shouts, because what you do at the end is, as in the House of Commons, you shout, the ayes have it, so everybody shouts aye or no, depending on their point of view. And it was so tight on the shouts that it went to a show of hands, and we abolished, poor King Charles, I'm afraid.
Basically, it was off with their heads on both counts.
I'm sure you did a sterling defence, David. I mean, we were talking about this just in the break, Ranveer and I, in a world of very divided political debate at the moment, which is very febrile, the opportunity to have two heavyweights of the political world debating things like this in a forum where everybody can get involved and actually discuss things, as you say, David, and maybe come out on a vote that is closer than you might think, is something that we don't really see enough of, isn't it? Do you think you could have done this, David, when the two of you were still sort of frontline politics?
Well, we could have done, but in a way, it wasn't that necessary. I mean, the last decade or so, you've seen the public debate almost evaporate. Yeah. I mean, we're in the big issues. I mean, take Brexit, for example, a good example. The whole world divides into two echo chambers, with everybody talking to themselves, nobody talking across the debate. When I first started in politics, there was always an overlap. There was always a sort of civilised space in the middle. And that's what we're trying to recreate, that civilised space in the middle, so we can listen to each other, talk to each other, and have a proper argument, proper debate, actually proper exchange of views. Somebody once said debate is like ideas having sex. It gives you the idea.
There is an irony, Alex, that you're trying to have a civilised debate in Edinburgh at the Fringe when it's notorious for comedy and madness and crazy performances and people that are doing extraordinary different acts.
Well, I mean, you're describing David's speeches, obviously, there, quite clearly. But I agree with David. For the first time in a week, I agree with David. I mean, the interesting thing is, these are important subjects. Brexit, Scottish independence, the House of Lords, the monarchy. These are important subjects, but there is room to debate them in a way which is friendly, humorous and fun. And obviously, but look, I should say the stars of the show haven't been David and I, despite our best efforts. The stars of the show have been the pupils who've come along to be the third speaker in each debate, from Craigmount High and Edinburgh Boroughmuir High, Broxburn Academy in West Lothian, where there was a 15-year-old speaker who was marvellous, absolutely fantastic, and also Dower Academy. But these have been the real stars of the show, and I can tell you, if they're a representative of the current state of Scottish education, we've got nothing to worry about, because they've been totally, utterly outstanding.
Well, and the audiences have loved them. I mean, I think the biggest cheer of the morning has always been for them. So
And quite rightly, because it must be quite an intimidating atmosphere to come into, actually, you know, and to sort of hold your own. One of the other former political heavyweights, I suppose we should say, who's been taking to the stage in Edinburgh is Nicola Sturgeon, who, of course, Alex, Salmond, you were very close at one point, but you've had this infamous falling out. She, on Ian Dale's show at Edinburgh Fringe, has ruled out any chance of a reconciliation, saying that... you're someone she no longer wants to spend time with in her life. You, on the other hand, when asked the same question, had said, never say never. How does it feel this morning to know that she's shut the door on that relationship that you've both had, that friendship, that long working relationship? She doesn't want to go back there ever again.
Well, I mean, it's sad. I mean, I saw Nicola's interview, and she does cut a sad, almost a reduced figure. But, you know, the reality is she led independence into a cul-de-sac. She's left her successor with a difficult, almost impossible legacy, and she's under police investigation. I mean, I don't know who's advising Nicola at the present moment, if anyone. But, you know, I'd have thought a period of silence might be a good policy. But it is very sad.
And, David, just a quick one. Yesterday we had Chris Bryant on the show saying that this is the worst Parliament ever. And, of course, he was leading the sort of standards committee. Would you, in a word, agree?
No. Every Parliament's different. This Parliament's been blighted by coronavirus at the beginning and...
He's talking about MP standards of behaviour.
Run of events. Yeah, well, no, I don't agree with him. I mean, you know, he's taken the views taken. I mean, let me give you an example. I mean... The sort of Margaret Ferrier episode, you know, expelled from Parliament for doing something notably silly, but expelled from Parliament. You know, I mean, that sort of thing. What did she do?
Remind our viewers.
We can be a bit too... She caught COVID and then she went back to her constituency from London on the train. Now, it wasn't against the law or even the regulations at those point in time, but it was obviously a stupid thing to do. But, you know, you compare that with, I don't know, what Boris Johnson got up to and some of the others. But, yeah, of course, everybody is critical of the things that have gone wrong. But I don't think the worst Parliament ever. I think that's just nonsense. I think the truth is that we've got to ensure parliamentarians follow a proper standard, but we shouldn't get ourselves into ridiculous political stances over it. Well,
maybe it's something you could debate.
If it all came to the show in Edinburgh, it would... I was going to say, if all came to... Well, they could all come to the show in Edinburgh. We've got 3 left on independence and Brexit. We've got Dame Eleanor Lang in the chair. She'll keep people in order. Yeah, we've got Baroness Fox. We've got Kate Fox. The rising star of the SNP. So they should, all the parliamentarians of Westminster should come to our show over the next 3 days and see how it's done.
Yeah, they might learn something.
I have no doubt you're upholding standards meticulously, the two of you up there. Enjoy the rest of your run. You're appearing at the Palais de Vérité. And it sounds like it's been a thoroughly entertaining show. So thank you for joining us this morning.
Lovely to see you both.
We're right after the vampire magician and before the dancers that come on.
Listen. We're talking about Strictly later.
Yeah.
You could maybe get your dancing shoes on, either one of you.
He's the last contestant in Strictly. I'm preempting your story. It's David's going to be...
This is the big reveal. Thank you both of you.
Following in Anne Widdecombe's steps, of course. Thank you both for joining us this morning. And just imagine him coming in.
It is exactly that, isn't it?
On a trapeze. That's what he's going to do to win the next vote.